champion series for CAIIB preparation. Here we are solving all the objective questions plus the important topics which are being covered, and we'll be solving the case studies also as and when the time comes. Okay. So firstly, let me congratulate everyone who has cleared JAIIB and CAIIB in 2022. Importantly, remember, we at Adda 24/7 have arranged for a felicitation ceremony on 1st May at 12 p.m. Venue is in Gurugram. See the address correctly. Adda 24/7 will reimburse your AC3 tickets. Remember, this is very important event. If you have cleared it in 2022, definitely attend this. Okay, because everything is reimbursed to you, right? Download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. Also join Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. On this app, you will get the study material plus video lectures plus all the classes plus Macmillan books also now. So everything you are getting in one go only. So why do you go here and there, isn't it? We are running the class of ABM, BFM and retail. It started since March 28. Remember, BFM is yet to start in that. BFM will be starting in the first week of May. So join this as fast as possible, because remember, BFM is the toughest topic in CAIIB. You might be knowing this. Timings are also 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. English batch. So all the numericals, case studies plus objective questions will be covered in that. Okay. Now let's come to the topic. The topic for today is GDP computation or GDP concepts. Remember, this is chapter number 9th. Yeah. In module A, ABM. Okay. So GDP, basically you'll get in this topic you'll get how to compute the GDP and what is the difference between GDP and GNP. Okay. So according to National Income Accounting, there are 3 ways to compute the GDP. This question we regularly get it in the exam. The ways to compute the GDP. So there are 3 ways basically. Names are only required many a times. First is expenditure method. So expenditure method means whatever we expend, whatever we spend. Okay. So here it is from the consumer side. Always remember. I'll tell you one by one. Consumer side. Okay, I'll first give you the names. Expenditure wise, income wise and product wise. Okay, these are 3 methods. So first let's study each one. Calculating expenditure wise. Calculating the total expenditure of all the entities, means whatever are the expenses, okay, by the entities. So what do you mean by expenses? See this. GDP equals to consumption plus gross investment plus government spending plus net of exports. Now consumption plus gross investments. Here basically understand this concept. Don't try to remember, mug up. Okay, CAIIB is not about mugging up, it's about understanding. Okay, so important part. What do you do in consumption? You and me as a normal human beings, we consume the things. We consume the toothpaste, we consume this, our daily lives, daily needs, everything we consume. So that all is computed under GDP. Okay, so whatever we spend is computed under GDP, expenditure wise. Okay, gross investment. Now what is this investment? Again, this is spending. Here I am spending. Here who is spending? Here there are 3 persons who are spending. Always remember. First is a common person. Second is gross investment. Gross investment will be done by the private party generally. Private party means all the big businessmen, all the NRIs, whoever is planning to invest. Okay, other than government. Remember, not government, because government is over here. Government spending. So if government spends on infrastructure, then that will be computed under this GDP. Means what's here? So again, coming back to the point, there are 3 persons. Consumption means common person, businessman and government. So it's that easy to remember now. Why do you have to mug up? C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Write this formula. You get it in books and you remember, Arey, I forgot I forgot G. Why? Never ever remember anything. Common person plus businessman plus government plus export import. Right? Net of exports. Isn't it? So that is expenditure wise. Income wise, while calculating the total incomes received by the factors of production minus land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, means understand this concept. Factors of production means what? whatever is required in production, raw material which I require in production, that is a factor of production. But why is this minus? Land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, these are subtracted because these are one time investments generally. I would say generally. Land is bought once and then we set up the factory. Labor is a continuous thing, but its cost is always in this subtracted over here. Capital is all one time investment, means whatever amount I bring in that is always taken as capital. Okay, so capital. And entrepreneur is a person who is doing the things, right? So all these four are subtracted. So what remains over here then? Okay, what is required for setting up any business? What is required? Only three parts, right? Means land, labor, capital, that is these are the factors of production. But how does the business work actually? Business works by, firstly we get the raw material, then we process the raw material and we sell it. These are the three parts only in any business, right? So when we get the raw material, this is known as the we call the raw material, means the inputs. Okay, now major in business, the major part is of the inputs. So that's why this is taken as a factor of production. Then why do we subtract the labor over here? Because labor amount is lesser and it is calculated separately. It is not a part over here. So that's why we subtract this labor. You have to remember this from CAIIB angle. Okay, so land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, we have to subtract it. Then GDP from income is the sum of the following major components. So compensation to employees, property income and production taxes and depreciation on capital. Now you'll see what is this. Here I have subtracted factors of production minus land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, and here I am adding the compensation to employees. What does this mean? Here this labor, why did we subtract this? Because it becomes a part of this compensation to employees. That's why we have subtracted it over here and added it over here, because this is a major term, major factor in calculating the GDP's income wise. Okay, so GDP from income is the sum of the following: compensation to employees, property income and production taxes and depreciation on capital. Now property income means what? Whatever I have invested in the property. Okay, production taxes means all the taxes, it includes direct and indirect taxes, and depreciation on capital. So this depreciation is added. See here, sum of the following. So depreciation is, what is depreciation? Depreciation is just a book entry. Does the amount of depreciation actually flow out of the company? No, it just moves from one pocket to another pocket, right? What are the entries for depreciation? So the entries are, it's in P&L, depreciation expense, and it goes to accumulated depreciation, right? Accumulated depreciation means what? From one pocket it is moving out of my business and it goes where? To accumulated depreciation, another pocket of mine only. Because if I am the owner, it's just movement from one pocket to another pocket. Okay, and what happens of that accumulated depreciation afterwards? When the amount becomes completely and the term is over, then I shift it from that accumulated depreciation to whatever the use of that fund is, right? For whichever asset I have collected those funds, I'll buy that asset, isn't it? So again it is moving from one pocket to another pocket, from accumulated depreciation to asset. So asset ultimately comes to me only if I am the owner. So again moving from pocket to pocket. That's why remember, depreciation is just a book entry. The money never goes out, and that's why whenever we are in banking and we calculate the income, we always add back the depreciation. Always remember this. Okay, move on. Product wise, calculating of total production means the total product, the product approach, which is also called as output approach, measures GDP as the difference between the value of the output less the value of the goods and services used in producing these outputs during the accounting period. Means what? This point consists of only the difference. For example, let's say the example is simple. Let's say the toothpaste. If I purchase the toothpaste for 10 rupees and the production cost of that toothpaste is, let's say, 7 rupees. So what is the GDP computation product wise? It is the difference between the value of the output. So 10 rupees less the value of the goods and services used in these outputs. So 10 minus 7. Okay. So value of the goods and services both are used over here. So 10 minus 7, 3 is the product wise GDP, right? So presently we government measures it always using expenditure wise. Okay, C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Okay. Now let's move on to objective questions of GDP. Remember, these objectives are also very important and you will see some of the questions in the exam. So see it until the end. Try to answer the questions yourself because it tests your own logic. Ultimately you are going to give the exam, not me, right? Personal consumption expenditure on household it's divided into, means consumption is divided into what? Durable, non-durable, services, all of the above. Okay, what is durable goods? Durable goods means which last longer. Last longer means you can call anything, television, bike, car, or a refrigerator, any good which is kept for a longer period. Non-durable means which perishes immediately, means what? FMCG goods, which we consume on a daily basis, so that is non-durable. Services means whatever services we get. Even we ourselves are bankers. What are we are in the service industry, right? So these services. So which is a part of GDP? All of the three or only something? So the answer is everyone must type. So the answer is correct. Everyone is typing correctly. Answer is 4, all of the above. Very good. Because services, non-durable and durable, everything is included in the GDP calculations. Factors of production are. So what are the factors of production? Importantly, remember, land, labor, capital, asset, machinery, money, land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, and none of the above. So which one? In school we had studied this land, labor and capital only, but this fourth element should be added. So why not this asset, machinery and money? Why not this? Where did this go? Isn't asset required? Isn't machinery required? So where did this go? Yeah, where did this go? So it has gone into here, asset, machinery and money. It is a part of something of these, land, labor and capital. So of which is this part? Tell me. This is the part of capital, right? Because labor is separate, land is separate. Capital can be of 3 types, right? Money, machinery, cash and kind, basically. That's the difference, right? So which is the answer now? So either 1 or 3. So which one? Answer is definitely 3. Entrepreneur is also added because land, labor and capital are available anytime, every time during any period of human beings existence. But somebody is needed who can collate all these things and bring the factory or bring the product into existence, right? Market price is the dash price for which goods or services is offered at the market price. So market price is what? Nominal price, economic price, marginal price or deficit price. Okay, tell me one thing. What do you mean by nominal price is out? Nominal price means basically what we give for those goods. Nominal, basically what do you mean by the word nominal? There are 2 types of words, real and nominal, right? Nominal means without comparing it with the base price, and real means comparing with the base price. So this term is generally used in GDP and inflation. Okay, there is nothing called a nominal price as such in basically in everyday economics. So next point, deficit. What in that deficit pricing? Deficit means whatever are the losses for me, excess of expenses over the income. Marginal price means the difference. So difference means whatever I have produced at, let's say, 7 rupees and whatever I am selling at 10 rupees. So difference is 3 rupees. So is this the market price of the goods? No. So market price of the goods is definitely 2. Economic price. Economic price means what? Whatever is the price paid by the consumer based on the laws of economics. Understand this. So you will say, when a consumer purchases something, how does he know the laws of economics? Whether anyone, if you purchase tomorrow, whenever you purchase something, let's say you purchase an oil tomorrow, okay, oil, consumption oil. So do you study that law of economics, demand supply law, and then purchase it? No. But then how is it called as economic price, and how does it follow the economic rules? Here it's like this. Even though the human being doesn't know these laws, but he ultimately follows these laws unknowingly. So that's why it is called as economic price. Okay, Which among the following is not a factor of production? Okay, not a factor of production. Land, labor, capital. Just now we saw this. 3 were there and 4th one was entrepreneur. So which is not the one? Wages. D. Wages is not the factor of production. Why? Why is wages not a factor of production? Because it is already included in labor, isn't it? Labor means what? Labor means what is wages and what is labor? Wages will be included in labor itself. Okay, that's why this wages separately is not a factor of production. Next, which of the following is not a method to calculate GDP? Okay, now you should answer. Product, income, expenditure, diminishing cost. Type fast, A, B, C or D, A, B, C or D. Just now we saw it, isn't it? I told you this question comes in exams. Tax. Now what is all this, isn't it? Where did we see this? We just now saw this factor cost, right? And what was the point which I told you during the factor cost? Firstly, type the answer. Let me see how many of you have understood the lecture. Of course, I'll give you the hint. C and D are out. Only A and B. So think about A and B. Value addition plus depreciation, value addition minus depreciation. Type A or B. Okay. Let's see. A or B, A or B, A or B. Yes. Everyone is typing A. A. Because you have followed the lecture, right? So that is A. Why? What did I tell you? Depreciation is just a book entry and it is to be added back to the income, isn't it? Just now I gave the full lecture on this. So that is the basic logic, right? Move on. Yeah. Which statement is correct for nominal GDP? Oh, what is nominal GDP? Okay, I told you two things. Nominal GDP and real GDP, right? What is real GDP and what is nominal GDP? Okay, keep it simple. Real GDP means it is comparison with some base year. Nominal GDP means no comparison. I'll give one simple example for real and nominal GDP. Suppose if I ask you today, at which are you, let's say, have you grown economically, or how far have you grown economically? How far have you grown financially? So how will you say whether you have grown or whether you have not grown? You will compare yourself with yourself before 10 years, isn't it? 10 years back I was what money I had, did I have this bike, did I have this car, now I am having it. So I have grown. How did you come to this conclusion? Because you compared yourself with some base year. So that is the meaning of real GDP. Real GDP means we are comparing ourselves, means GDP of that economy is being compared with some base year. And nominal means what? No comparison. I am living happily today. I think of only today. No back, no history, no future, nothing. Only today. So that is nominal. So always remember, in India we compute real and nominal both GDPs. And real GDP is always important. Why? Because it gives you the where you have come to, whether you have grown or whether you have lost, isn't it? So coming back, move on. So what is the answer? Yeah, what is the answer? Which one is the correct? Nominal GDP is calculated based on the current prices. Nominal GDP is calculated on the base prices. Data for nominal GDP shows an accurate picture of the economy as compared to real GDP. So which one is correct? What do you think? Which one is correct? Real is good or nominal is good? Because it is comparing. So real is comparing. So real is definitely good. So now 3 is out. 1 and 2. Based on the current prices, based on the base prices. So nominal is current prices. Okay. Always remember this concept. Answer is C, only one. Okay. So nominal, there is a thumb rule for nominal and real. Nominal GDP means today's expense, today's price. Keep it simple. Okay. Today's expense, today's price. And real means what? Today's expense, yesterday's price. Understand this? Yesterday's price means based on the yesterday's price base year I am comparing this. Okay. We are also having one case study. I'll take it when after completion of the theory parts. Okay. Which sector contributes the most to Indian economy? Okay, which sector contributes? Now you are in the same sector. Primary, secondary, tertiary, none of these. Firstly tell me what is primary sector. What is primary sector? Type, everyone type. Everyone should type. Primary sector is what? It is right. Agriculture. Secondary means manufacturing. And what is tertiary? Tertiary is what? Type everyone. Everyone. Tertiary is service sector. Correct. Remember, these primary, secondary and tertiary sectors are divided based on the jobs. They are not divided based on, classified based on the GDP this share. Okay. So that's why agri is called as primary, because it gives roughly 50 to 60% of the jobs in India. Secondary gives roughly 20% on an average, and tertiary gives roughly 15% of the jobs. Okay. So that's the basic difference, means 15 to 20. Secondary may give 30% also, means roughly here classification is simple, 60 30 or 60 50, you can call it now 50 30 and 20. That is a simple logic. But these are the jobs. But what about the contribution in GDP? Who contributes most to the GDP? Who does it? Yes, service sector. Service sector C. Now remember the imbalance in Indian economy. Service sector gives jobs to roughly 15 to 20%, and it contributes to 50 to 55% in the GDP. Agri sector gives jobs to roughly 60%, and it contributes to roughly 15% in GDP. So the one who gives more jobs contributes less. The one who gives less jobs contributes more. This imbalance in Indian economy needs to be balanced. How do we balance? For balancing this, of course, it's not a part of your CAIIB studies. But how do we balance this? See here, we have to combine the service sector with agriculture sector. When these two sectors will get combined, then there will be a rationalization effect actually. Okay. What is the base year for calculating India's GDP? Base year. Now this is a difficult one, because many of the books give 2004-5, but that is not the answer. The correct answer is, everyone type. I have given you the hint. A is not the answer. Now B, C, D. Which one? B, 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 B? No. C. Everyone is typing D. Many of you are typing D. D is not the answer. The base year is C, 2011-12. Now even the government is planning to change. See here, I am telling you, it's planning to change to make it 17-18. Okay. But they haven't changed as yet. Up till now, as of today, it is 2011-12. Okay. The value of which work is added in the calculation of GDP? Means these are the simple works. Housewives work, teacher teaching his own child, value of resale of old shares, construction of a new house by an artisan, means basically mason you can call it. So construction of a new house. So which one will add up to GDP? Housewives work means whatever she works at home. Remember, housewife's work means what? If the housewife is doing some business at home, so that is separate, that will add up to GDP. But what here the question means is, whatever work she does at home, so that is not adding up to GDP. Okay. So A is not the answer. First you type the answer. Let me see. A, B, C, D. Which one is the one? Yes, everyone is typing correctly. The answer is D. Correct. So D is the answer. So teacher teaching his own child. So what is he doing? He or she is doing the parenting. So parenting doesn't add up to GDP. Okay. Value of resale of old shares, that is also doesn't add up to GDP. Why? Because it's a secondary market transaction. Primary market transaction is IPO. Whenever I take it directly from the company, then it adds up to the GDP. But selling of old shares doesn't add up to the GDP. Okay. Who is empowered to control the expansion of the bank credit? Okay. Expansion of the bank credit. Here, any word bank comes, who is empowered? Finance Ministry, Home Ministry, RBI, and none of the above. Expansion of the bank credit. Who does the expansion and contraction policy? It's a part of monetary policy. Monetary policy is controlled by whom? Finance, Home, RBI. Who? Type the answer. A, B, C. We'll answer this A, B, C. This is A, this is B, this is C. Which one? A, B, C? Yes. Answer is A, C. Sorry, right? RBI. Why? What is the function of RBI in terms of monetary policy? It only controls the expansion and contraction of economy. Expansion is controlled how? By when it wants to give more money in the system. Okay, when there is a we have to go in the recovery phase at that time. Okay, and contraction means when it has to take out the money from the system, right? So that is the control by RBI. Which of the following are the indicators of monetary policy? Okay, monetary policy, inflation, GDP, MSF rates, and all of the above. Monetary policy. Monetary policy is controlled by whom? RBI. What is the role of RBI in monetary policy? Just now I told you, expansion of economy and contraction of economy. These are the two main parts, and controlling the notes. That is the basic logic. Okay. So which are the rates? Let's answer this A, B, C. A, B and C. Which one? So answer is all of the above, right? Why? Inflation is an indicator of monetary policy. If the inflation is high, then definitely what will RBI try to do? It will try to remove the currency from the, or remove the money from the market. Okay. If GDP, for expanding the GDP, RBI will lower the interest rates, and MSF rates means all these SLR, CRR, bank rate, right? MSF, basically it's a MSS actually, the concept is, means market stabilization scheme. See here, there are two types of functions by RBI for stabilizing the market. One is OMO and second is MSS. Okay, OMO means what? Open market operations. Here this inflation and GDP means these, let's say about GDP also. In OMO, what happens if the RBI wants to expand the economy? So it can, what will it do? It will send money and buy the bonds. And if it wants to contract the economy, it will sell the bonds and buy the money from the market. So it does both the functions in OMO. But in MSS, it doesn't do this. It does only one function, that is taking out the money from the system. So it sells the bonds and takes the money out. So MSS only one function, and OMO both the functions. How will you remember OMO both and MSS once? Here OMO, two O's, right? Two O's, so both the functions, going also, coming also, and MSS only one. Okay, so these were the major questions. Okay, one more is there. What is meant by repo rate? Repo rate is a rate at which RBI lends to the commercial banks in place of government securities. Means RBI gives money or RBI takes back money through repo rate. Type the answer. Okay. And second is what? Rate at which commercial banks lend to the clients. Means does the commercial bank, let's say SBI, does it lend to the clients at repo rate? It is based on the repo rate now. See here, what all the commercial banks have done, they have benchmarked their loan rates on repo rate, but they don't give it on repo rate. They give it repo plus something. Okay. So what is repo? Repo is the rate at which RBI lends to the commercial banks. So answer is A, only one. Okay, lends to the commercial banks. Okay, and takes the government securities from them. An increase in repo rate will be, means what will happen by increasing repo rate? Increase in the cost of borrowing and lending of the banks. Means repo means what? RBI gives money to the banks, right? So if RBI increases the rate at which RBI is giving the money, so what will happen? It will increase the cost of lending and borrowing by the banks and decrease in GDP. So is it both of them or only one? Correct. Everyone is typing correctly. Answer is C, both of them. Increasing in the repo rate will increase the cost of borrowing and lending of the banks, which will discourage the public from borrowing the money. So discourage the public from borrowing the money means decrease in GDP. There won't be any money in the hands of, there will be lesser money in the hands of the common public. So GDP will, inflation will be in control and GDP will come down. That's the basic logic. Okay. So that was it. These were the main important questions and the important topics on GDP. Follow this correctly. Also, I am telling you again, ABM BFM retail batch has started since March 28, 6 am to 8 am. Join the batch as fast as you can. Also remember, we are running huge discounts on these batches. I'll show you how to get those discounts here. Let's take this example. I'll show you over here. Yeah, let's see over here. See here. Whenever you go to the website, go to Adda 24/7, type Adda 24/7, So here, Adda 24/7. On the front page, you get this. See this. You'll get everything, all these banking, insurance, JIB, CIB, SSC, railways. Click on JIB, CIB. In JIB, CIB, you'll get JIB, CIB, Mahapack, JIB, CIB. You can click on CIB also and JIB, CIB, Mahapack also. Okay. Even if you click on Mahapack, what you see? Mahapack is very best. Why? Because here you get CIB ka Mahapack. Look at this. You'll say 28,499. Such a huge fees. Click on this. I'll show you the magic behind the discount. What was the coupon code I told you? Y432, right? Y432. Never forget this code. See here. What do you get in this Mahapack? Why this such a huge fees? See this. 500 plus hours of ABM, BFM. Okay. And 4 plus batches of ABM means 4 professors you will be getting for ABM and BFM. 3 for BFM. 3 for retail banking. Case studies, detailed batches, exam, this all exam focused numericals and revisions. Everything you will be getting. And at what fees? See the fees 28,499. Just view the offers. Now see the reduction in the fees. What code did I tell you? Type in the comment section. Type yes. Why? Everyone should remember this code. Y432. Remember this code. Excuse me. So look at what has happened. 28,499 has reduced by 21,944 and it is what? 6,554. Now 28,500 to 6,500 roughly. So much is the reduction. And this amount, once you clear CAIIB, in how many months will you recover? 1,300 is your average income which you get, additional income, right? 2 increments. So 1,300 into what? 13,5 is 65. In 5th month you recover everything, and 6th month everything is yours. So just continue and fill the details and payment. That's it. It's that simple. So I would again suggest you to go for this Mahapack as well as the CIB batches. CIB batch, remember, BFM is starting in May. 12 case studies you will be getting for BFM. Okay, so join fast as fast as you can. Okay, so I'll take the leave now. See you tomorrow with another topic. Also see you in the live classes. Okay, bye.